I'd advise everybody to get ready for the long haul. And if you do have supplies right now, I would ask everybody to be wise with what you have.
Food insecurity is growing in our area right now. When people aren't working, if they don't work, they don't get paid. And many times for families, they can't afford to buy food. And that's really where a lot of our organizations are stepping up right now this week. And I wanted to talk to Kirk Mayes. He's the CEO of Forgotten Harvest. Hi, Kirk.
Hey, Christy, how you doing?
Okay, how are you guys doing? I know this has been a heck of a week.
Yeah, we're managing through. There's a lot of stuff going on to all of us, at every different angle. But, we realize that in this time, our mission is even more critical than ever. But we've also had to adopt a new priority of making sure that we keep the public and ourselves healthy while we're going through this very special and unusual circumstance.
Why don't you go ahead and give us a sense of what your operations were even before 2 weeks ago, and now what you're dealing with in terms of how many people you have working and what kind of volume you're seeing?
Yeah, so as you know, and many already understand, Forgotten Harvest is a food rescue organization. Our ability to serve the community is leveraged largely by our relationships. So we're set up to go around to grocery stores on a daily basis, get the things that don't meet their retail specs or things that they need to pull from the shelf for whatever reason, but still has life and still has an ability to actually add value to the tables of the people in Southeast Michigan to make ends meet. We not only work with those food manufacturers, with those grocers, but we work with food manufacturers, farmers, and we also produce food on our farm in Fenton, Michigan. Things are upside down right now for everybody, and especially in the food world, no less. So our ability to be able to get the extra things from the grocery store has been greatly strained. We've been seeing an average over the last few weeks about a 55 to 60% reduction on the things that we're able to get from our grocery partners. We've seen some adjustments also in our food manufacturing partner donations, but we are seeing an uptick in the donations from restaurants and local food providers, like large institutions around us who were already planning on big events or planning on serving their public customers, with some getting some of those supplies and getting it back out to the community so things don't go to waste. As we look at going forward, we're going to be making a major change in our operational format going into next week. We are currently uh, moving our operation into a larger facility. Short of us making a public announcement, we're going to be deploying from TCF Center a large amount of our repack for dry food and non-perishables. And then we're also going to be using our Oak Park site for our cold repack. We'll then be deploying our trucks to 15 different locations throughout Southeast Michigan. Those trucks will be equipped with, on the cold side, uh, lunches and packaged box meals for children that we would want to typically go out. And then on the dry storage side, we're going to have a mixture of the donations that we still have coming in from our grocery and our other partners. We're also buying food right now, so that we can make sure that we supplement those supplies. All in all, our plan is to ensure that we can serve at those 15 locations, one location a day, about 30 pounds in each box to each family, and we'll serve 700 families a day as we try to measure how our capacities rise. And we're getting everything set up right now to launch that format for Monday.
So this will start on Monday, and is this in coordination with the city or with other organizations at all, or is this something that you've just been able to have to business plan turn around in these last 5 days?
There's been a combination, of course. We did get great support from the city of Detroit, but as Forgotten Harvest is a Wayne, Oakland, Macomb County organization, we've gotten help from Oakland County, from different municipalities within Wayne County, all over town. So our partners right now are a mix of different social service agencies and different even government um, sites that we'll be able to use to distribute food, and we'll be sending you that list shortly to make sure you can let your listeners know. We are going to be using some rec centers from the city of Detroit and a few school sites, one or two school sites, to fill out these locations. So again, yes, the city has been tremendously helpful in helping us make sure we can serve the community
Even across the
together.
area, when we have, the schools that are shut down, and that is such a great way for families in need and for kids to be able to get a meal a day. When that was kind of when the schools were closed down, and then alternate plans were made in districts around Southeast Michigan, how did that impact the people that you were serving, and what your organization had to do to try to step in there?
Yeah, well, everybody's tense, but I just want to say that, stay calm. There's a lot of people who are really working hard to try to figure out that everybody gets what they need, especially as time progresses and things are getting more tense. We did have to make some slight adjustments and considerations to how we were serving, but it seems that a lot of folks started to rally around the schools and those that are needing those plans. And we'll do our part as time goes on as well to make sure everybody gets what they need.
I'm seeing all sorts of things online talking about to people who even bring in groceries to their house about safety and handling of packages. What kind of steps are you guys having to take with your staff in terms of safety and handling and making sure that things are clean and wiped down, and we're not transferring anything as you go along?
Yeah, so good question, and thanks for that. We are doing everything we can to make strategic decisions, but also incorporate as much common sense when we don't have advice from those that really know best. So the things we're doing is we're taking the advice from the healthcare professionals in general by creating work spaces that enforce the social distancing rules that we've been asked to recognize. So a part of the reason why we're moving to a larger location for repack is because we'll have repack with conveyor belt lines that allow people to be well social distance, so we can still get things packed up, and we coordinate our efforts in each of our repack zones. In the distribution sites, we're going to be in each of our sites and any of our additional agency partners that stay open that we deliver to, we're going to actually ask and mandate that they have a rolling distribution where there's a minimum amount of touch points, and actually try to reduce their contact with the public as much as possible, so we can just drop things off in people's cars or just have a place where people can pick it up and walk away with it when the food is available. We are working with any and everybody we can to try to forward a balanced request of getting as much personal protection equipment as possible, so that we can make sure that our frontline people who are trying to serve people with food supplies have the kind of mask, face coverings, even gloves, and even potentially body suits, if we can get our hands on them, to make sure that we are doing everything we can to protect people at every stage of our operations. At the same time, we want to make sure that we're not taking anything away from our local health professionals. Again, our job right now is to make sure that we keep people healthy, to keep that flow down from our hospital systems and our health community. We are not just the first line of defense for our community right now to ensure that everybody can have food. If we're a touch point with people, we want to make sure that we don't add any stress to our healthcare community, and we don't take away any of the necessary supplies they need right now to get the job done. So we're doing everything we can to protect everybody, to put plans in place, to change our format to account for these things, and really make sure that we train volunteers and do everything we can to look out for everything possible. The last thing I'll say, Christy,
Hmm.
is today I'll be having a conversation with a epidemiologist from U of M, who's going to look over our plans and give us any insight that she could on what's going on, and how we possibly could look at something from a healthcare professional's point of view that may be able to help us have enough additional insight on how our plan is put together, and also plan to speak with somebody from Michigan OSHA today to look at our plans, look at our spacing, And I'm trying to do everything I possibly can to get the advice and the information to ensure that our people and the public is going to be safe while we get food out here.
And it's such a shift, and there's so many things to take into consideration, and it sounds like that's exactly what you're doing. Kirk, what has been the toughest part of this entire pandemic so far?
You know, the toughest part, I think, is the fact that we're all people in this, and more time than ever, you know, we are experiencing how our human story is linked. And as there are different degrees of people realizing where we are right now in our global society and our local society, to try to balance the urgency, the fear, um, in some instances, the heartache that's already beginning, and keep our heads together and keep the hope pointed in the right direction so we can get through this, so we can love each other again after all this is over and learn from it and do what we can to move on. That part is a real test. I can handle the tactical side of it. I can handle the other parts of the leadership, but I need everybody to just pay attention and stay calm and do what you need to do so we can. Everybody's in this. Some of us are out here doing things on the street. Some of us are in hospitals trying to save lives, literally. And some of us, everybody else, if you don't have any of those really critical things, and I know there's a lot of essential people out there, your job is to stay home, stay safe, and take care of yourself, and we will get through this.
Those are great reminders. What can we do? What kind of help can or donations can people give?
Anything that people can give us right now would be helpful. Everybody's worrying about their ability to survive through all this, and nobody knows how long it's going to really take. I'd advise everybody to get ready for the long haul. And if you do have supplies right now, I would ask everybody to be wise with what you have. We don't want anybody to get to a point where, if your job is stressing with trying to keep you working, or if your physical home supplies get low, we want everybody to keep that stuff for as long as possible. So just be really wise about how you actually, manage your activities while you're home right now. If people are interested in getting alongside the folks at Forgotten Harvest, please give us a call at 248-967-1500, and we'll take your name and information. And as soon as we can make sure that we have everything we need to deploy you safely, we'll call you and get you out there to help if everything makes sense. And if you have anything that you can share with us, from cash to supplies, please call us and let us know, and we'll coordinate a way to be able to get that help and pass it on to the people in our community that are in need.
Kirk, thanks for all your hard work. Thanks for being out there on the front lines, helping people. And then we'll look forward to what's going to be happening on Monday. And we wish you all the best. Be well.
Thank you, Christy. I just want to right now, if I can be selfish, shout out to my team. They're brave souls. They're making it happen. And I am honored to serve as their leader, truly, now more than ever. Thank you.
You can find more at onedetroitpbs.org or subscribe to our social media channels and sign up for our One Detroit newsletter.